So now we're going to sew along with Maria Rosa and make Ciao Dorii. If you've bought the kit, then you'll have everything you need to make the dory bag. And if not, if you've made it already and you want to make it again for a friend, use your extra leftover fabrics to make this fun little bag. So we're going to start by working each little fin or tail with separate units, and we're matching the pairs. So we're taking each of the fin or the tail, we're matching the fabrics right sides together, and we're sewing very close to the edge of each of these pieces. Now we're going to trim all the way around the edges that we've stitched on the curves, and at the tail point we're going to snip in. This will make it easier then when we have to turn the pieces to the right side. Now we're turning all the pieces to the right sides. It might be useful to use the handle of a spoon to push out the points and edges well, and then we're going to press all these 3 pieces flat with an iron. Now we're going to attach the fins and the tail to the main body of our fish. So we're taking the pattern piece number 1 with the right side up. We're checking the notches and the references, the notches on your pattern, to ensure that the fins and tail are positioned correctly. We're going to sew them in place with a 5mm seam allowance. We're going to prepare the drawstring casing. So we're going to take our pattern piece 2, and on piece 2 look for the dotted lines on the pattern, and we're going to, there's 2 notches on either side of this piece, and we're going to, at that point, we're going to fold up the edge by 5mm, pin and machine stitch. Then we're going to fold the piece in half as indicated on the pattern, and we're going to stitch along the edge to create the channel for the cord. Now we've done our casing, we're going to keep that piece and to the turn it over to the right side, and we're going to pin to that side, the shortest side of piece 2. We're going to pin the main fabric on one side, and on the other side we're going to pin, always right sides together, the other piece in the contrast fabric of our fish in piece 1, and then we're going to sew with a 1cm seam allowance. So now we've been working as a pair, so we have 2 shapes of our fish ready. And on the section where the fin is, we're going to, that's the fin number 4 pattern piece, which we've attached. We're going to top stitch on the right side to block or anchor this piece neatly. Then we're going to put right sides together our 2 pieces of our assembled fish shape, and we're pinning all the way around the edge. Where you get to the tail, it could be a good tip to pin that inwards, so that from the edges, so they don't get caught up in the stitching line. And we're going to then sew around the edge with a 5mm allowance. Remember to leave a gap of 5 centimeters to allow us to turn the fish to the right side. Now we're turning our fish through the hole that we've left to the right side. So you might want to use the handle of a spoon to help do this, or your fingers to smooth out the stitching, so that we have our fish completely turned to the right side. Pressing our fish to set the stitches, we're ensuring that the raw edges of the 5cm gap are folded neatly inside. You might want to use a small amount of fabric glue to hold the opening edges in place before they're stitched later. Now we're going to push the contrast fabric section inside the main fabric section to create the lining, and give one more press. Now mark the position of the eye as shown on the pattern piece and sew in place. Now we have the final stage where we're threading the first cord through the casing on one side all the way round and back to the start. We're tying a knot, and then we're going to repeat the second cord, but we're starting from the opposite side of the casing. So now you've completed your Ciao Dorii fish. We have other kits of other animals, so have a look on what we've got on our website, Fabrics by Hilary.